Stop everything. What I'm about to tell you is going to change everything. Picture this. The atmosphere is electric with whispers swirling around the league, and the intensity is palpable. Phones ringing off the hook, frantic voices echoing across the halls of power in the NFL. A name is being tossed around like a hot potato, with each mention sparking a new wave of excitement and speculation. My sources, those ever-reliable and discreet insiders, have just confirmed something huge, something that has the potential to redefine the landscape of the league as we know it. And yet the identity of this figure, this superstar in question, remains tightly guarded. We're talking about a player who sits comfortably among the elite, one of the best in the league, a talent that any team would clamor to add to their roster. But who could it be? The suspense is killing you, I'm sure. As I weave this tantalizing tale, I promise you, this revelation is worth the anticipation. We've seen busy off-seasons before, but this one is on a whole other level, dude, for real. You're going to want to sit down for this one and stay tuned. Now let's pivot to the Buffalo Bills, a team that finds itself in a state of flux, a team grappling with its own destiny. The Bills, man, what a story they have. They're a franchise that's been clawing at the edges of greatness, inches from reaching that storied summit. Since the firing of head coach Sean McDermott on January 19, 2026, following a heartbreaking playoff loss to the Denver Broncos, the organization is seeking a fresh start. They had 9 seasons under McDermott, who held a solid 98-50 regular season record, but just couldn't get them over the postseason hump, compiling an 8-8 playoff record. This team, with its proud tradition and passionate fanbase, is crying out for the spark that will elevate them to Super Bowl glory. They've been haunted by recent seasons of near misses and what-ifs, seasons where they seemingly had all the pieces but just couldn't put them together. A perennial contender in the AFC East, they've been churning through playoff appearances with little to show for it. The defense, often allowing 27-plus points in 6 straight playoff losses, was their Achilles heel. A reset is on the horizon, and the Buffalo Bills are in desperate need of change. They've been searching for months through secret meetings and encrypted communications, each call and text meant to rebuild a dynasty. And then, amidst all the swirling uncertainty, they found HIM. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. I'm talking about Lavonte David. This is the name that's on everyone's lips, the player who could be the missing piece for the Buffalo Bills. Lavonte David, a linebacker with a resume that's beyond impressive, has completed a 1-year stint with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers following the 2025 NFL season. As a 35-year-old free agent, David is weighing his options for what could be a 15th season in the league. During the 2025 season, he maintained his reputation as a stalwart of defense. Playing all 17 games for the Buccaneers, David racked up 114 total tackles, 61 of them solo, showcasing his formidability and relentless pursuit on the field. His stats tell a story of a player who, despite battling a knee injury that required weekly management, delivered solid numbers including 3.5 sacks, an interception, 3 passes defended, and 2 forced fumbles. His leadership as the defensive captain wasn't just in his numbers. It was in the spirit he brought to the field, the inspiration and guidance he offered to younger players. Lavonte David isn't just a linebacker, he's a potential game-changer for the Bills. Looking back at his career, he's been a cornerstone for the Buccaneers since being picked up as an undrafted free agent in 2012. He's a Super Bowl champion, decorated with multiple Pro Bowl and All-Pro selections. In 2023, he notched a career high with 134 tackles and 4.5 sacks, undeniably one of the elite. His potential addition to the Bills isn't just filling a position. It's about injecting leadership, experience, and a championship mentality into a team hungry for success. Behind the scenes of this potential blockbuster move is a web of intrigue and high-stakes negotiation. Experts across the league have praised this potential move, recognizing the genius at play within the Buffalo Bills management. General Manager Brandon Beane, freshly promoted to President of Football Operations, stands at the helm, working tirelessly behind closed doors to piece together this game-changing deal. He's known for his stealthy maneuvers and strategic acumen, making moves in the shadows that only come to light when they're ready to make waves. But it's not just Buffalo that's keen on David's talents. Rival teams are jockeying for position. eager to block the Bills from snagging such a valuable asset. Rumors abound of private jets and clandestine meetings, conversations of performance bonuses that could reach astronomical heights based on his future successes on the field. Coaches are reportedly ecstatic about the prospect of adding David to their squad, with emotional reactions bubbling up at the thought of what he could bring. Imagine clauses in his contract that reward him for every sack, every interception, every defensive stand. That's the kind of potential impact we're talking about. In terms of financials and scheme analysis, adding Lavonte David to the Bills will have a significant impact on the team's salary cap. As a free agent coming off a one-year, $10 million deal with the Buccaneers, David brings a veteran presence and considerable market value. The Bills, aware of their cap constraints, will need to be crafty in structuring a deal that accommodates his experience without compromising their long-term strategic vision. But the payoff? It's huge. Lavonte David fits seamlessly into Buffalo's defensive scheme, potentially stepping into a role where his ability to cover tight ends and his elite tackling can shine. He would not only complement players like Matt Milano, but would elevate the entire defense to new heights. The injection of Lavonte David into the Bills' roster could transform them from perennial contenders to legitimate Super Bowl favorites. His influence would trigger a ripple effect through the team, infusing veteran savvy and playoff experience that could be the difference-maker come January. Now, moving to the epic closing, let's talk about where this leaves the Buffalo Bills. Owner Terry Pegula has always spoken in visionary terms about building a dynasty, a legacy that demands respect and inspires fear in opponents. The addition of Lavonte David could be the keystone in that grand architecture. Social media is already buzzing with anticipation, fans imagining what the future holds, envisioning Lavonte David in those iconic Bills colors. Can you feel the excitement? The next 48 hours could be crucial, as every conversation, every negotiation could determine the course of not just the season, but the future of this franchise. There is a sense of destiny in the air, a feeling that Lavonte David could be the missing piece to bring glory back to Buffalo. What a sight it would be indeed, Lavonte David standing tall as a member of the Buffalo Bills. Can you imagine it? It's a tantalizing prospect that leaves us all on the edge of our seats. Drop a comment, I want HIM or nah. And remember, this is just the beginning. Subscribe and share the journey with us.